I want to replace the values in my columns based on a condition. Right now I have a column with the debitor number, which if it's a company it will be an 8-digit number, but if it's a person it will be a 10-digit number. But the debitor number is based on birthday, and you can be born on the 1st of a month, which means your day of birth would be 01. But within SAP, which my table comes from, it stores this information as an integer column, meaning that you can't have 0, 1, you can only have 1, which means I have rows where I have 9 digits, but it should actually be 10, and I need to fix this. The normal way to do this would be to make a new column where I do my fixing with a simple if statement, where I want to say if the length of this, the current value in my debitor number, debitor column, if that's equal to 9, then I want to do string concatenation. And because this is actually a number, I need to first convert this into a text with text.from. And again, I need text from to say I want to concatenate a 0 with the value in debitor. And if the length isn't 10, then I also want text from, which means I just want the original value, but now it's converted into a text. And this actually solves my problem. I now have here where I have 9 digits, it becomes 10 digit with a 0 in the front, which is exactly what I want. But now I need to delete the original column, which is an extra step. I need to rename the new column, which is an extra step, and then I need to change the positioning. And this introduces a possible error, because I'm now specifically saying to order the columns in this way, which means if either of these columns change name or position, or I have more columns, then this step will fail because it tries to refer to a column that doesn't exist. So I need to do error handling. In other words, this is 4 steps to handle one thing, and it introduces an error, which I obviously want to avoid. The other method is to use the replace method, which we find under transform and replace values. And since I want to replace text and not values, I want to first convert this into a text, which I could have done in the other way, but since I replaced the original column, it's not important. Now I have text, which is what I need, because when I use replace values, whether you're replacing text or values actually matters. And I don't need what I will get from this function, but I just need something that I can work with, because I need to make this dynamic. So the way the function normally works is it takes a table and it says, this is the text I want to find. I'm trying to find the value A, and if I find that, I want to replace it with B, and it uses the replacer method called replacer replace text. This could also be replace values if it was text or date. And then the column it looks through is the debitor column. But I want to not always look at A, I want to look at the value within the current row. So I need to use the each word. So each value within the debitor column. So for each row in my table, in my debitor column, grab that value. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what I want to do is, again, for each row in my table, what I want to replace it with depends on a condition. Each if the text length then of the debitor column, that is the current value within my debitor column, again, if that length is equal to 9, then I want to do string concatenation, and otherwise I simply want to return the original value, which means I say grab that value in my current row. If that length is not equal to 9, then I want to actually replace the original value with the new value. So for each row, I'm either replacing the value with itself, because this is the old value and this is the new value, or if the length is equal to 9 like here, I will be adding a 0 in front. And this does everything in one step. And the nice thing is that once you have this syntax, you can very easily replicate it in another situation. Yep.